Welcome everybody. I'm Josh Beatty from Royally Addicted on Herb Nation Radio Network, and I'm going to show the Gypsy project in the 2014 hatch season, I should say. It's the 2013 breeding season. I do all my breedings in fall. But anyhow, this here is the original Gypsy sire male. Super bright. This is not a het red axanthic yellow belly. Alright, I've shown this animal to quite a few people. Got side lights and stuff like that here to kind of show a little bit more. It's a UVB light over here and cool white fluorescent over there. And then an incandescent over there, and another UVB up there, up against the wall. But it's not a het red axanthic yellow belly. What's happened with this is pretty extraordinary in my opinion, but then again it's my project, so of course I'm going to make it sound like it's amazing and crazy, but it's just unlike everything else. I got this animal from a pet store, literally, and started breeding him. The first animal clutch that I hatched out, I got 3 animals, and Kevin bought 2 of them. And this one here is his daughter out of that clutch. Now she is right about to ovulate. She's not a yellow belly. I think that's pretty obvious. It's something different. This is a cross between the granite and what I'm calling the talisman gene. She's not glowing yet. She has not shed her pre-ovulation shed. This is a yellow belly. And if I put her next to her and just step back, there's a huge difference. And this has granite, a darkening gene. The talisman is what I'm calling it, the yellow belly type gene from that Gypsy sire. Is this one right here. Lot of dorsal blushing. A weird pattern. An actual pattern does exist. A distinct pattern exists in this. This is not a combination. This is just the talisman gene. What I was calling the Gypsy belly for the longest time. That's this gene right here. This animal. I've replicated that quite a few times now. And this girl right here is talisman with granite. And she is right about to go into her prelay shed. And then she'll be glowing and she'll ovulate. Then she'll shed again and she'll lay. I palpated her yesterday with 7 big follicles, so I will see what this turns out to be. Alright, back to the straight up the talisman gene. Don't pay any attention to the labels on these because I've kind of messed around with the names on them. I know what they are, and that's pretty much all that anyone needs to know. But this is the quote-unquote yellow belly gene. The talisman is what I'm calling it. Tons of blushing. This is not a pastel yellow belly. This is the talisman gene. This is exactly what this animal is. These are exactly the same. As this one gross. Oh, gee, thanks. You pooped overnight. Yeah, pooped. That's why I clean them every day, but I started the video before. Anyhow, what I was talking about with a distinct pattern in this gene, it's easier to show on the smaller animals. What I'm talking about is from the head, there's a neck stripe. And there's side patterning. I've had a couple of them that have chain linking. This one even has it, where the alien head spots are a little bit elongated, but it only happens in the front portion of the animal. In this project, anyhow. Many others, everything varies. Everyone has their own different lines, different projects, different things. But what I've noticed is in the front 1/3 there's pattern, and then it dissipates, and near the tail you get another tail stripe, and the belly is striped. That het pied lining. And I've done this 2 times, and I have both the animals. That's why I can show you 2 of them. Anyhow, sticking with just the talisman gene from the Gypsy, I combined it with spider. This ended up being a fluorescent yellow spider combo. This thing is really bright. The dorsal is striped gold, like white hot gold. Really cool. And then of course also, even with spider, it did the same thing, where the front 1/3 you get some drips off the spider, off the dorsal coming down, and then once you hit the rear 1/3 of the animal, there's nothing. It's completely obliterated. Dropped all the striping off of it. I'll lay it down on the carpet and let her stretch out a little bit. And for a spider, she's really not too bad so far as motor skills and movement and stuff. What I'm talking about though is, spiders, you'd normally get some dripping down the sides. It's disconnected. And then from right there all the way back, and then of course you get a weird ringer type thing that goes around, and you get it from there. This side's even more demolished so far as spider webbing. You just get a broken back to it, and this animal's really bright. I don't know if the video's capturing it completely. I think everybody knows apartment complex Berber carpet. That's what this is. Trampled on for 5 years. And the talisman gene, another reason I think it's in the yellow belly complex is because of this. Hi. She's really bright. I was never a huge spider fan, but I wanted to see what this project would do with spider, and I did see it. I think it looks pretty darn cool. Okay, so that is spider with the talisman gene, the yellow belly type gene that comes out of the Gypsy. Alright, the pattern gene. I've replicated this a couple of times now. And this is what I'm calling the vagabond. This one here is in shed. She'll be shedding in a day or 2. Already out of blue, but in shed. And then I have one that ate a small rat yesterday. More than a small rat. I get my smalls, and the guy's like, yeah, they're smalls. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's a medium. She ate it. But this is the exact same gene. Like I said, this one here is in shed. And if I get close up, you'll see the blushing and the dorsal. It seems like it's similar to green pastel or het red xanthic, but it's more, it's cleaner. to me. I've seen a million pictures, and I own a red axanthic. This gene just I don't know. To me, it's prettier. Now she's chock full of food, but these giant white flames and really, really bright overall color. And this animal does look identical to this, very, very similar. But like I said, it's in shed. If I get close, you'll see the blushing and stuff like that. She'll shed out. And I've got a red axanthic right here from Corey Woods. I even saved his record sheet. And I think that my gene is as bright or brighter. Now it's as bright as the super form of the red axanthic. This is not a super form. This is just the vagabond gene, and this is a red axanthic. I do not think that those are the same. I've had a couple of people come up to me and say, "Oh, that's a het red." No, it isn't. Definitely is not. It's something different. I don't know what it is yet. I won't have a super form of that for another year, because this is going to be the first female to go back to the sire, and she's not ready. A little too young. So there's a little proof in that when I talk about this project online and stuff like that. People, everyone's always out busting balls and stuff, but these start out, they're a really, really cool, almost like a weird cinnamon black pastel type thing. Clear belly. That's the other thing too. Red axanthics, I don't know how variable they are, but that animal has markings all up and down its belly. These have clear bellies, white flames, strong black backs, a little bit of marking down the back. This one here is a little bit less than this one here, but that's been a little variable too. But the chain linking, the color, teardrop-esque patterns, and giant white flames with a striped type belly, clear white in the center ventral scales is typical of this trait, and this is what I'm calling the vagabond. All right, let's set these aside. She just gets prettier and prettier. She's getting big. Those rats are gonna do well. All right. Anyhow, yeah. So now when you take this and combine with that, these two right here, that's what makes that the original Gypsy. So the combination between those two, that's the vagabond, and that is the talisman, make up the Gypsy. Now when you take a Gypsy, that right there, I bred him to a ghost, and the heterozygous ghost messed around with pattern and blushing and made it even more extreme. You know, what I showed you with the spider and the other things going on with the talisman gene, I do believe that the talisman gene combined with het ghost is what really made everything get drawn up and in color and pattern, and it's like it went absolutely insane at the rear 1/3 of this, similar to how it did with the spider, where the rear 1/3 from here back, the tail portion is just absolutely wiped out and annihilated in pattern, and you got a weird ringer in the same spot on that spider as you do on this. So I do think that that's genetic. I do think it's from this project, because that was two different damsels. And this right here going on with the belly is unlike anything I've seen in other collections. People say, oh, it's a yellow belly this, it's yellow belly that. This is a single gene. Someone contacted me not long ago thinking I was in the Sentinel project or the Paint project. That's not what these are. This is all based off of my own stuff. I couldn't afford a $4,000 snake. And this is the one that I have on the marketplace right now for $13,000 over payment plan and $11,000 buy it now with a credit card, and I'll ship it right to you. But I don't think anyone's going to be spending it, and that's kind of why I put it up there. So just to kind of show her off and say, yeah, there is a price on everything. Take a whole boatload of money to take this animal off my hands. Alright, so getting back to brass tacks, I put this animal right here, the sire, back to gotta close everybody up. I put this guy right here back to his daughter, this girl. And she is going to ovulate. She had 7 giant follicles. So that's one that I have a possibility of even hitting a 4-gener. That'd be the Super Talisman, the Granite in her, and the Vagabond pattern. Thanks, you also peed. And then Ken Masick and Brad Boa loaned me this animal. It's a stark white ivory. And real quick, before my battery goes dead on the video, ivory is not an ivory. I don't care what anyone says. Yellow belly is a very, very complex. This animal here has very little head pattern, but it does have some. Other than that, there's no yellow stripe. There's no gray throughout the rest of the animal. There's nothing anywhere on it. It's got a little bit around the head, and that's it. I do believe this is just a yellow belly to a yellow belly. Now, if you look at the bling yellow bellies, they've got a yellow stripe. It's a distinct line. If you look at Ben Siegel's orange bellies, there's been a couple of animals when line bred where you get a gray, charcoaly looking animal. Kind of weird. It's different lines that do distinct things. And this one right here also has 7 follicles. So I'll be proving that gene this year, and then hopefully a super form will pop out. I'm really hoping it's not a white snake. I don't think it will be. It's too different in my opinion, but that's my opinion. It's my project, so I guess I'll leave that up to the facts when they happen. And just to show also, this is the ghost that was used. It is not any kind of, nothing weird about it whatsoever. It's just a ghost, an orange ghost. And again, I have another female that was put into the project, and this is a straight up yellow belly, a Muirline yellow belly, just like this girl here. Same type of yellow belly right there. Those two are also in this project, and hopefully this girl here will give me eggs this year. She didn't last year. But I do not think that this is the same as that. It's brighter, it's a different pattern, different color. Anyhow, alright, thanks for watching. Thought I'd give you guys a little update. I've had some interest and people were wondering what was going on, so I thought I'd show off with my new camera. Yay! Alright, take it easy. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.